Allied forces struggle to evacuate under relentless fire as enemy troops close in on the beach. With most of the Justice League scattered or captured, Superman, Hawkgirl and Flash push themselves to the limit, ferrying soldiers to safety amid explosions and chaos. During the retreat, Flash learns that Hawkgirl was forced to leave Green Lantern behind. Horrified, he races back across the battlefield, but Lantern, having narrowly escaped the war wheels, lies unconscious and hidden among the wreckage. As Superman and Hawkgirl continue the evacuation, a new danger roars in from the sky. A formation of Messerschmitt fighters begins a devastating strafing run. Superman and Hawkgirl rise to meet them, engaging the planes mid-air. Just as the situation turns dire, a squadron of elite fighters suddenly dives into the fray. Their precision and coordination scatter the enemy aircraft in moments. The pilots identify themselves as the Blackhawks, an independent multinational group dedicated to fighting the Nazis. Their leader Blackhawk introduces his team and requests the League's assistance. Superman agrees to meet them later at their island headquarters. Elsewhere, Green Lantern regains consciousness and is quickly surrounded by Easy Company, an American commando unit tasked with destroying a hidden German airfield. Bulldozer doubts Lantern's usefulness without his ring and attempts to intimidate him. Lantern responds by effortlessly flooring the much larger soldier. Calmly, he explains that he served in the United States Marine Corps. Impressed, Sergeant Rock officially welcomes Lantern into Easy Company, and the squad resumes its mission. In a fortified laboratory, Vandal Savage interrogates John. John assumes Savage, like the League, has come from the future. Savage corrects him. The laptop was sent back by his future self. The message explains that World War II offers the perfect moment for global domination. The device contains schematics for advanced weapons and detailed knowledge of Allied operations, including the planned Normandy invasion. When John refuses to cooperate, Savage orders him tortured. At an abandoned farmhouse in occupied France, Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman wait for their contact, Ernst. Wonder Woman is surprised that an ordinary man is willing to risk everything for the war. Steve simply replies, "Some things are worth dying for." In a quiet moment, Wonder Woman shares her first kiss with him. Their peace is shattered when German troops arrive. Steve quickly realizes Ernst has been captured and forced to betray them. He suggests Wonder Woman create a distraction while he handles the soldiers, but she instead overwhelms them almost single-handedly. One terrified soldier reveals where Ernst is being held. On Black Hawk Island, the pilots explain their next objective, a massive German factory. A bombing run is planned, but the mission will fail unless the factory's anti-aircraft defenses are disabled. They need the League's help. Back in his laboratory, Savage discovers Joanne has escaped, and the laptop has been destroyed. Furious, he orders the invasion to begin immediately, only to be told it cannot proceed while the stolen communicator remains missing. Steve and Wonder Woman rescue Ernst from captivity, but the scientist urgently warns them they've walked into a trap. Moments later, war wheels emerge from all sides, encircling the jail as the ground begins to shake. Wonder Woman tears the outer casing from the communicator, and shields Steve and Ernst behind her. With a powerful burst of speed, when the dust settles, she carries Steve and Ernst far from the battlefield, unharmed. German soldiers comb the wreckage and recover the shattered casing. The report reaches high command quickly. Believing the communicator destroyed, Savage gives the long-awaited order, the invasion is a go. With the League supporting them, the Blackhawks strike the German factory. Before the bombs fall, Flash races through the complex, evacuating the workers in seconds. The target is obliterated, but in the smoking ruins the heroes uncover something disturbing. A jet engine far beyond contemporary technology. Jern arrives and confirms their fears. It is another artifact from the future. Using what remains of the communicator, Ernst intercepts the invasion signal. When Steve asks where the attack will land in England, Ernst hesitates, then delivers the truth. The target isn't England at all, it's the United States. Wonder Woman prepares to leave immediately, but Steve stops her. Quietly, he asks what happens if they never see each other again. She answers him with a kiss. He watches her fly off, wishing her luck. Across occupied Europe, engines roar to life. The invasion force begins to move. Easy Company locates the hidden airfield beneath a carefully constructed artificial hill just as the aircraft prepare for departure. Savage arrives to oversee the operation personally. Gunfire erupts as Easy Company attacks. Planes scramble into the air under fire. In a move that shocks everyone, Green Lantern sprints onto the runway and leaps aboard Savage's flagship as it lifts off. Moments later, the Blackhawks reach the League with grim news. They've also learned of the invasion. Flash takes off at full speed, racing across the Atlantic to warn American defenses. The rest of the League heads skyward to intercept the fleet. Inside Savage's plane, Lantern sabotages critical systems. Communications fail. The flagship slows, and without their leader's guidance, the rest of the invasion force hesitates. Savage captures Lantern and begins torturing him for answers. But the delay proves costly. The League attacks. A brutal aerial battle erupts. Wonder Woman reunites with Superman. Hawkgirl, and John, as they disable plane after plane. Just as it seems the invasion may collapse, Savage restores communications. On his command, the fleet ignites its afterburners and surges ahead, outrunning the League. They fly straight into a wall of anti-aircraft fire. Warned by Flash, a U.S. Navy flotilla opens fire, filling the sky with explosions. Planes are torn apart mid-air. The invasion begins to crumble. On Savage's flagship, the crew is distracted by the chaos. Green Lantern breaks free, overwhelms his guards, and blasts the controls. The plane spirals downward. As Lantern struggles with Savage, John senses his location and alerts Hawkgirl. She streaks toward the falling aircraft, smashes through the windshield, and pulls Lantern free seconds before the plane crashes into the ocean. Savage is last seen swallowed by rushing water. With their leader gone and their forces shattered, the remaining invasion planes turn back toward Germany, only to be hunted down by the Blackhawks. Their mission complete, the League returns to Europe. In Berlin, High Command receives confirmation of Savage's defeat and presumed death. General Hoffmann, Savage's harshest critic, wastes no time in restoring Hitler to power. The League slips back through the time portal just before it closes. Waiting for them is the familiar Batman. Superman, overwhelmed with relief, pulls him into a hug. The League tells him they have a story he may find hard to believe. Years later, Wonder Woman visits a quiet retirement home. She finds Steve Trevor, now elderly but smiling warmly. "Angel," he says. They share a final tender moment.